All right. Let's get this college football rank. Yeah.
This is what I've been waiting on. Waiting on these rankings.
Yeah. Got Georgia, number 1. Michigan 2, TCU 3, and then USC 4. I have no. You can flip flop Georgia. Me personally, I would put and this and that. You're gonna be surprised, but I would give Michigan the number 1 spot.
Really?
I would give them a number 1 spot based off their resume. If you look at Michigan's resume, they have a better resume than Georgia does.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
They beat Penn State. Penn State is only a 2-loss team, which Penn State lost to Ohio State and Michigan. That's it. And if you look at Georgia, yes, we're undefeated, but the only team we beat was Oregon. Oregon is a 3-loss team. They lost to Oregon State. They lost to Utah, and they lost to Georgia. And then the only other team that we beat was Tennessee. Tennessee lost to Georgia, and they lost to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Which Georgia beat South Carolina. But it's just, if you look at the resume of the teams that Michigan beat, and you look at those teams' resume, Penn State and Ohio State both have a better resume than Oregon and Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that's why I would put Michigan, and I'm a Georgia homer, but I will put Michigan at number 1. They've earned it.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. I agree with it, but I like I agree with it, but I think we should still be number 2. And just because of what they've been consistent with the season. It kept us at number 3 realistically, we should have been number 2 a long time ago. But the way they have ranked these games is based on this damn conference. So, but I agree that what you just spelled out, perfect. I love how you painted that picture. It's perfect. It was the truth. But it's been a slow build for Michigan. You know, they were stuck at number 3 for the longest, and I think at one point then they dropped to 4, or there was a 4 for the longest, and then
they moved up to 3.
Yeah,
and then they took the 2 spot. Yeah,
but it was a long time. So, they're making Michigan earn it. So, you know what, that's fine. But and it really is consistent with how they have ranked all these teams. You know, that's a great argument. You know, but I think they should stay at number 2. Just because of with the Bulldogs. As much I hate to say this shit, but the conference, and even though you spelled out, but you painted a picture where basically, even though the Michigan's resume is a lot better because they beat more teams, but because of Georgia, the conference, and then they're dominant. Like they've won, they have won. Well, Georgia Tech was not. Well, it was impressive late because what was the final score? 37 to 14.
Yeah, 37-14, but it was 37-7 for a long time.
Okay, so I mean, it's I'll give it to the Bulldogs, man. I just, I guess it's more of just the underdog in me. Like I rather just I want to beat you and take the number 1 spot. Like we had to beat Ohio, take the number 2 spot, and everybody was holding Ohio State down for so damn long. Oh my, Ohio State mark this game, bro. Week 2 and week 3 we was talking trash. This game, this is gonna be the game. It was first it was Ohio State, and then it was this I'm talking about Michigan's schedule. It was Ohio State, and it was Illinois too. Illinois was another thing that we was concerned about, and then they kind of that first quarter it was a little rough. I was like, oh shit,
yeah.
He was probably right, but but nah, man, I would keep him number 1. But that was a good argument.
How do you feel about Alabama being at 6?
I think it should be up. I think it should be at Ohio State. I think Ohio State should be like 9. It should be.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely a Michigan fan. Yeah.
Bruh, no, because you know what it is. I think
Tell me why.
well, because if you guys, I say if the Bulldogs lost the way they lost, because the two teams everybody's been high on is the Bulldogs and Ohio State. C.J. Stroud's name is gone everywhere and everywhere. If you lose the way you lose at your home stadium against well, like many people say it's not a rival because Ohio State's been killing them for the last. They killed them the last 5 games. Jim Harbaugh was 0-5 against them before he came to the game. So okay, but you let Michigan come in and is dominate the way they did. You got of Alabama, who they lost to? They lost to They lost to LSU,
Tennessee and LSU.
LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's lost to UGA and who was the second team?
South Carolina.
North Carolina. Hancock. Oh yeah. So that's not a. Was it a bad loss?
Who? Tennessee.
Yeah. South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina beat Tennessee pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
They beat Tennessee. I ain't gonna say pretty bad. They beat Tennessee very bad.
Yeah,
they hung 63 or 68 points on them on Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't put Alabama. This is why I wouldn't put Alabama ahead of Ohio State. The only 2 teams they lost to was Tennessee and LSU, right?
Mm-hmm.
LSU got their doors blown off by who? Tennessee. Tennessee went to LSU and beat beat LSU 40-13. And then that same LSU team lost to Florida State. The same LSU team just lost to Texas A&M. If anybody that should be ahead of anybody at this point, it should be Penn State. Penn State should be ahead of Tennessee and Alabama. That's who should be ahead. Penn State should be ahead of Tennessee and Alabama.
Oh, all right, but the schedule of Ohio State. Who else have they played?
The only real schedule tough schedule that Ohio State had was Michigan and Penn State.
Okay,
and the only loss they took was against Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. So I would say that they suck against competition.
No, because they beat Penn State. Penn State, the only two losses that Ohio State has.
Okay.
The only 2 losses that Penn State has is to Ohio State and Michigan. If those are only 2 losses, then competition, they beat Penn State. Penn State was their competition. The only last competition was a real strong threat was Michigan. Because we've seen what Michigan did to Penn State.
Okay, so all right. So let me revise it. So yeah. Alabama. Nah, that LSU loss is crazy. Like I can't even argue that. That's the loss that just pisses me off.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like Alabama lost to LSU.
I feel like Alabama should be a little bit more. Because I think they've been floating under the radar ever since that loss. It's like the respect has been lost. It's like Alabama who? But I feel like they didn't lose that damn game. I would put them up a little higher. But okay, so I would definitely have Penn State over Ohio State. No. They beat Ohio State. But I would bring them up. You know what?
Penn State should be number 6. If it was me, it would be Georgia, Michigan, TCU, USC, Ohio State, Penn State, Tennessee, then Alabama.
Yeah.
Tennessee beat Alabama. The only reason why Alabama's ahead of Tennessee is because they got embarrassed by South Carolina.
Yeah.
So I'm fine. Well, I'll rearrange it. Then it's Penn State, then Alabama, then Tennessee. Clemson should not be nowhere near where they at. This bias is real crazy to me. This is real crazy to me. Clemson should not be where they at.
Not at all. I would put Utah and Washington over them. Not over Clemson?
I don't know about Utah over. Okay. If we're going based off the schedule, then I can see where you're going at with it. If we're going based off the schedule, I can see where you're going at because Clemson lost to Notre Dame. Notre Dame embarrassed Clemson bad, 35-14, and then they get embarrassed at home, 31-30. Which I still argue that if Clemson had a quarterback, they never would have lost that game. So yes, Clemson should drop down further because Clemson only dropped down one spot. They only dropped Clemson down one spot. That's crazy to me.
That's
That's
insane.
crazy.
That's insane. And then, but no love for Washington.
That's another thing. Well, Washington lost back-to-back games. That's what killed Washington. They lost to Arizona State, a terrible Arizona State. But look how far LSU fell. 9 spots.
How's LSU fall, but Clemson don't fall that far?
That's what I'm saying. Clemson should be at least 12.
And that's crazy. Yeah. Okay. You know what? That was because I had Ohio State.
Yeah.
I revised that. Yeah, they get. Man, goddamn, Aiden. All right. You changed my mind twice today. So that's good arguments, good debates. All right, yeah, that was there. All right,
like, I'm fine with the rest of the rankings. Florida State, where they at over LSU because they beat LSU. Oregon State beat Oregon. I'm fine with that. What's the others? Where everybody else is at? UCLA is below Oregon, Tulane. I'm fine with the rest of these rankings. All them other rankings that they release, I'm fine with it. But that Alabama, Tennessee, Penn State, Clemson, and Washington, those need to get rotated around. Those, I mean, not Washington, Kansas State, Utah, and Washington. Those top 12, to me, from 6 to 12, those 6 need to get changed around. That's just my opinion. No, I would change them around. Clemson needs to be further down.
Yeah, way down. And Penn State should be up a little bit more.
Yeah, Penn State is not, Penn State, yes, they didn't look good against the competition, but they played. But this is Michigan and Ohio State. If you go back and look at all the rest of the games that Penn State played, they performed. They didn't look bad. Like right after, look, all right, Michigan beat Penn State 41-17. Then Penn State turned around. Who they beat? Minnesota, 45-17. Then they lose to Ohio State 44-31. Then they turn around and beat Indiana, 45-14. Beat Maryland, 30-0. This is the same Maryland that Ohio State struggled against.
Yeah.
This is the same Maryland that Ohio State struggled against. And then and then they beat Rutgers 55-10. Then they beat Michigan State 35-16. They didn't fall off. They had they lost 2 games to 2 teams that at the time were ranked in the top 4 all season long.
Yeah. I agree. Man. I'll tell you, somebody's in somebody's pocket.
Hell yeah. Penn State should be higher.
Yeah.
Alabama should not be where they at. Alabama and Tennessee should not be where they at.
Yeah.
Alabama lost to LSU. LSU got embarrassed not once, but twice. Once to Tennessee, and the other time to Texas A&M.
LSU lost the problem. Yeah. Because I really want to put them higher, man, but I can't. Nah. I can't do that.
Hell no. LSU's in the right spot, 14. That's where they belong.
And in Tennessee, they lost.
Yeah. They lost to South Carolina. They got embarrassed. And because they blew out Vanderbilt, they move them up 3 spots.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You get embarrassed by Tennessee the week before, and just because you come back the following week and you beat up on Vandy, Vandy's only won 5 games all season long.
Yeah, well.
So, I think it's just crazy. I think it's just wild. But the ranking is it's a lot of money involved. Let me just say that.
No, it is. It is. You can tell. A lot of boosters involved. A lot of money's been tossed around. I mean, what's the benefit of it, though?
Well, because it's all about the bowls. Yeah. So it's all about where all these teams get positioned. If you look at this ranking from 1 to 12, you're gonna have all your teams that's in your big conferences like Big Ten and SEC. So out of the 12, you got 1, 2, 3 teams from the SEC. Then out of Big Ten, you got 1, 2, 3 from the Big Ten. TCU, you got 1 from the Big 12 and 2 right now. 2 in the from the Big 12. Pac-12, you got 1 and 2. And then 1 ACC team, which is Clemson. And Clemson is only in this because of what they've done in the past. That's it.
Yeah. There's definitely some bias going on. Definitely
some bias. Man, they hella bias. What's up, Jim?
Yo.
What's up?
What's good, guys?
Ain't nothing. Welcome on board. So we just finishing up talking about this college football rankings. You want to give some chime in on it?
Some great games on Saturday. Definitely Michigan shocked me.
Bobby. Now you get to talk your trash, Bobby.
But I'm not a believer as of yet, though. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the playoffs get ready to come around. You know, probably choke in the Big Ten championship, but we'll see.
To Purdue.
Oh, they gonna talk
Nah.
Not no Purdue.
That's not even a real championship game, bro.
They might as well give us the trophy.
They might as well give it back to Ohio State. Put Ohio State back in there.
So we can beat them again, and then it could be no trash. You know, Jeff, I told Avery, we're coming from Georgia. We done with Ohio State now. We're trying to move on. There's nothing left.
I don't know if y'all ready for Georgia, man. You know, y'all don't do good in bowl games. You know what happened last time y'all was in the bowl game?
No, enlighten me.
Huh?
No, tell me.
Y'all got blowed out. It was no chance. Like, you know, like that's what man say.
Let's move it, baby.
All right. Well, let's go.